Welcome to Marketing Matters, a webisode series by Approach Marketing. I'm Megan Shroy, president and founder of Approach.
Hi, I'm Sarah Ann Harris. I'm the managing director of Approach, and this is our first webisode, so bear with us as we navigate these uncharted waters in every way, shape, and form. But we really wanted to bring you all some information you can use and just really connect. That's what we're trying to do right now, is connect with everyone and be able to talk about some things that matter in your lives and your business worlds, and find ways to provide information to those that are looking for it.
Absolutely. So we're coming at you live from our home offices, really to help share some tips and strategies for marketing mid-COVID and in a very fast-changing world.
Yeah. And I think today, as we're here, we're recording this on May 1st. Many states are starting to open up, many are not. Some people are starting to think about what the new normal looks like. So Megan, we thought we'd talk today a little bit about the way forward. And we don't know a lot about what that's going to be. But there are some things we know we can do from a marketing and communication standpoint that will prepare a business, no matter what, to really be able to reopen, whatever that might mean for them. So we thought we'd take a few minutes to talk about that today. Sound good?
Absolutely. I'm ready.
All right. Okay. I'm going to interview you. Hard-hitting journalism. Here we go.
Get ready.
But I'm excited for this conversation because I think it's something people really are looking for and thinking about right now. But as we think about this new normal, as we anticipate getting back to it, what do you think the most important step business owners can and should take as they're starting to contemplate this reopening?
Yeah, the new normal. Gosh, we keep hearing that a lot. And I think really how we're advising our clients right now is to take a step back and evaluate what needs to change in my business. And, that's going to be different for every single business in every single industry. Obviously, brick and mortar needs to make drastic changes and has already had to make drastic changes. Whereas some of those service-oriented businesses might need to take a new look at customer needs. They might need to reevaluate their value proposition. Really, they might need to take a step back and see, how do I pivot in this climate to stay relevant and to really stand out from my competitors in this new normal.
Right.
I also think that, and we've been saying this for 2 months now, communicate, and really identifying all of the stakeholders that you need to communicate with. And that can be obviously your customers, your employees, any leadership. We need to take a step back and think through all of those internal and external messages and put together a plan for communicating in real time, because we know, as marketers, that amid crisis and when people are feeling uncertain, you don't want them guessing because they'll come up with their own answers, right? And so if we're able to push our messages out to those audiences in real time, we're going to, kind of alleviate some of that anxiety and uncertainty and that whole guessing game.
And, I think that's such a good point, because one of the audiences I think that is often overlooked is your internal people and kind of that internal comms piece, which right now is so important because you really need to get your people on board and understanding where you're at as an organization and what you want your customers to hear and believe, and having your people believing that first before you go out to that external audience. And I feel like that's something we've really tried to do, is even when there's not a lot of information, to at least be updating our team on a weekly basis on what's going on and what we're seeing and what the future looks like, at least for the next week, because we know no one has the answers right now. But I think that's, as business owners, something that, you get so wrapped up in the day-to-day and you're dealing with so many things that it can be very easy to forget about communicating effectively to your employees. So
absolutely. Well, especially when we're not all under the same roof.
Right.
And just because we're in our homes doesn't mean we can't have regular, effective, and personal communication. And I think about what we've done, even at Approach as a leadership team, in sending out written communication, recording video messages to go out to the team, holding all team stand-ups on Zoom where we're having conversation like this, and just looking for really effective ways to push out our messages and keep our people updated on what's going on. I read a great article recently, and it talked about how those messages should be coming on, a very regular and frequent basis from the CEO, and really, rethink your position as a CEO. And, I've heard it called the chief empathy officer. In these times. And that really resonates with me, right? Because you want your people, your talent, the folks that drive your business forward every day, to be hearing from you in a really real, authentic, empathetic way.
Absolutely. And I think, one thing you said caught my attention too, because the things that we're doing right now, they aren't super polished, as you're seeing right now.
Look at this.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think both for your internal audience as well as your external right now, your customers, whoever your consumer is, they just want the information. They want to be communicated with and to. They need to understand where you are, what you're doing. And I think that perfect can get in the way of good enough and of, that communication flow that is so important right now. So I would advise, those out there that are thinking about things and maybe getting caught up in, this, is this wording right? Does it say exactly the right thing? Does this look professional enough? Is it designed enough? Just, get the information out there, obviously thoughtfully, but making sure that you really have that communication flow turned on right now.
I think you're spot on.
Yeah. So a lot of people hit pause on their marketing when this whole thing happened. We know marketing is often the first to go. And obviously as marketers, we have a lot of thoughts on that. But as people are starting to think about turning back on and getting things moving again, and we know that ramp will be slow in certain cases, what should they be thinking about now? Even if they think, I'm not going to be able to fund marketing for another 3 months or another 6 months. What are the things they should be thinking about right now?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that we are constantly doing is looking back at folks that have done this well. And I think we can look at 2008 and that recession and look to the brands that really propelled after that financial crisis. And one thing that we know is that the most successful companies in that recession kept their marketing mix going. They did not pause. They did not go dark. And while they had to rethink strategy, and of course budgets were cut, and there are marketing tactics that are far more efficient than others that we can invest in, we know you've got to keep going. Yeah. And that is what's going to make you stand out amongst your competitors. As far as, what companies can do right now, or what we should be evaluating as we turn it, back on, I think rethinking our messaging first and foremost. We know that consumers have a different appetite right now in hearing from brands. And we need to take a step back and think about, what messages we're putting out there and, what channels we're using to communicate. And, there's a big opportunity there. I mean, just this week, we got, good news from big tech. No surprise, companies like, Facebook are doing better than ever. And that's because people are at home on their devices, on social media, on Amazon, utilizing services, like Uber Eats. And, the reality is that thinking through how we communicate with our customers using these digital channels is more important than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just take another minute of everyone's time, but on that note, some of the channels that we can use are a lot more efficient and effective at this moment than others. And I think that digital strategy is something that every brand should be looking at, no matter who you are and who your customer is, because look at us right now. We're all at home. We're all using, this virtual connection. And so in terms of the channels that businesses should be looking at, what would be your advice?
Well, obviously, social media is key. Yeah. I think it's a great option for brands right now. And as they're thinking about, how do I, come through May and June as, this climate starts to unthaw a little bit, it's efficient. It is very, very affordable when it comes to a targeting and a paid perspective. And it's a great option to test this new messaging, right? You don't have to come out with a giant, expensive national advertising campaign with a message that's untested. You can use, targeting to really understand your particular customer's appetite for being communicated to. In these
that's
times.
What I love about it most is kind of that A/B testing
Absolutely
right now, because we don't know, none of us know for sure what will resonate, and we don't have the time to do the traditional focus groups and to test all these different things. Now is not the time to invest in that, because guess what? The consumer mindset is going to change every single month.
It's changing, on the regular, faster than we've ever seen before.
So the ability to, in real time, understand what's resonating, what's not, by putting out multiple messages and really paying attention to what people are clicking on and what they're not, what people are paying attention to and what they're not, is so huge. So that paid social avenue, I think, is more important now than ever, on all the different channels, depending on what your value proposition is and where your consumer is. So
Exactly.
Well, Megan, we're at about 10 minutes time, which I'm sure is longer than anyone wanted to hear us speak, but hopefully some of this information was helpful. Thank you for your time and your expertise and sharing it with us today.
Absolutely. I mean, I think our hope in doing this is to connect with others, right? And we've really come at this pandemic with a help first mentality. Absolutely. And if you want an outside perspective on any of your marketing communications challenges, strategy, we at Approach are here. We're offering free consultations. I mean, we mean that, no strings attached. Our goal is to, try and provide counsel and value in a really crazy time. So, reach out. You can connect with us on our website, approachmarketing.com, or shoot us an email, hello@approachmarketing.com, and chat with one of our senior client strategists.